Ping pong, ping pong.
Ping pong.
A poon clap?
What about that?
Anyways, so that's how we're starting today's episode of Archivist Sessions.
Yes. And this time we
This
actually have the
is-
name of the episode before we start recording, which is Firestorm.
A firestorm. Look at us. We're like real podcasters now.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we will be discussing episode 5 of the Mighty Nein animated called Little Spark.
Huge spoiler warning. Huge spoiler warning and also trauma warning. Crazy
Yeah, I guess trigger
trauma
warning.
and content warning. It is very, very graphic, very, very dark. If it's not your vibe, feel free to skip.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about all of the themes explored in this episode, probably in
Some amount of detail.
significant. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you don't want to hear about it, maybe skip this one.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So I guess to kick us off, what are your main takeaways? What did you like? What didn't you like? Tell me.
I have like one main takeaway, and it's ouch.
Ouch, indeed.
It's kind of it's most of my thoughts on the episode, which is kind of like ouch. It
Yeah,
was like
it
it was
was-
pretty disconnected from the main plot, so it felt like, and I keep like clarifying, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it felt a bit like side episode because it was, providing context to the main plot, not driving the main plot forward. So, and also Caleb is, to be fair, probably on the lower end of my like order in terms of like favorite characters in the Mighty Nein. So I did enjoy seeing it animated. It was dark.
Yeah, I feel
pretty
like
grim. It's
going
pretty
into
grim.
it. Yeah, going into it, I sort of knew, okay, we're probably going to get some of Caleb's backstory this episode. It's probably going to be really dark, probably hard to watch, and I was correct. Yeah, I feel like I have similar thoughts to you, where probably don't have like as sort of like plot related stuff to talk about, because it was, yeah, more just sort of looking at Caleb and things like that. So yeah, I think my main takeaway was just how incredible this episode looked as well. I know I say that about every single episode. It's hard not to, because just honestly, every single frame of this show just looks like crazy
Very well
good.
done.
But this one in particular, there was some really clever editing and things like that, especially that scene at the end with Caleb's sort of like breakdown. It was just so well
It was
done.
very well edited. Like I'm sure I could put together a pretty good compilation from our reaction recording of just us in severe discomfort. Like just severe amounts of discomfort. And like it looks like we're not having a good time, but like I am enjoying, like thoroughly enjoying the fact that I am in severe discomfort, because it means it's hitting. It's doing its job. It was designed to make you uncomfortable. Oh, we spotted a Yasha.
She's here. Very fitting
She just needed to
with
make
today's
herself known real
episode.
quick because he wasn't in this one.
She wasn't in this one, and there was some like cat shenanigans also happening in this episode. So for all the
Not
cat
very
lovers
fun
out
ones.
there, this was not a fun episode,
Yeah.
I will say. But
Please check the website doesthedogdie.com.
yeah. I guess before we sort of dive into the episode discussion, something else I wanted to add that I really enjoyed about this episode, and I think we've sort of touched on this in general in previous episodes, but just I loved how gruesome and dark and brutal it was, especially in this day and age where media more often than not just gets watered down like crazy to make it more palatable for like a wider audience.
Yep.
It's just
Really
so good to
direct.
see. Yeah. A piece of
Refusing
media
to
that
shy
just
away from the brutality of it, like the ugliness and the awful reality of things that exist here in our world on Earth, on planet Earth, all the time, every day. Like, it is just its commitment to like true representation of like the kind of awful that goes on in these like politically corrupt kind of environments. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, especially this episode. I saw quite a few people sort of talking about how it, like Caleb's backstory and all the stuff with Trent as well. Sort of, oh my god, the cat is trying to get into my dice bag right now. I'm not joking. I don't know why. Girl, there's nothing
She's
in there
mad
for
you
you.
at that computer again.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. All right, she gave up. Oh. Oh,
It's all right. TikTok's gonna love this.
just thank you, Yasha. Bye.
Thanks, Yasha. That was
Okay, she
her
gone.
appearance. It cost $200. She's
Yeah.
really expensive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She gets paid the big bucks. Anyways, I totally forgot what I was saying.
Animation.
Oh, yes. People were sort of making parallels and comparisons to like a lot of real world stuff, like with the Nazis and like the Hitler Youth and all of that stuff, which won't go into crazy detail, but like if you know your history, a lot of stuff in this episode will be familiar.
Yeah, and again, like, I'm sure I can like cut from this smash cutting to like our reaction clips of us just, even when there's nothing like violent or gruesome going on screen, both of us still severe discomfort about the words being said and about the manipulation going on, because like,
Ugh.
icky
Icky thong, living up to his name.
And it's like he from the second the episode starts, like he's living up to his name as the propagandist of the Cerberus Assembly. He's just spewing manipulation. He's not doing anything that isn't the most like precisely calculated move.
It's just makes you uncomfortable, and I feel like that shows a really well written like villain. I guess that's kind of how you could describe him.
I've been saying, I think I've said a couple of times this week, in the Beacon Discord server too. He's a well-written villain in the way that like he's a villain that you love to hate. You love like Joffrey, you know, like, oh, this guy. Oh, fuck the guy.
If I saw that guy on the street, I'm swinging. But when he's on my television screen,
Trent,
I'm
if
like,
I catch you, Trent, if I catch you, ooh. God damn. But, you know,
icky
it's
thong.
it's like, I enjoy the fact that I hate it because it means it's well communicated.
Yes.
It's hitting because it's well animated, it's well delivered. Mark Strong. Bro.
I love the way he voices Trent. There's just something about it that's like unnerving.
Yeah, like he's
but like
I remember the moment, like even the episode before, I said like there was a moment in one of the Beacon scenes where like his voice is just like this beacon isn't just it's a weapon. It's like the way his voice is just dripping like lust for power.
It's just, oh my god. Again, I cannot praise this show enough. Like, it's just, everything they're doing is spectacular. And you can, I think I said this last episode as well, like, you can tell, like, so much love has gone into every facet of this show. And, like, I feel like that's so rare as well.
Yeah. I think you can really tell when an actor understands, like, a villain, like when they really get in the head of a villain. Like, you know, I feel the one that comes immediately to mind is like Heath Ledger's Joker, right? Like, just really viscerally understanding the tone they need to deliver and delivering it, and then like you know it's good because you can feel it in your nervous system. You're like, gross.
Just Just
Yucky
crazy
man.
stuff,
Yucky
man. Crazy
manipulative
stuff.
man. Evil Uncle Iroh ass bitch. Fucking
Yeah,
alternate
accurate.
universe Uncle Iroh.
Ugh.
Evil.
Yeah.
That's something I keep noticing. I've noticed also about Caleb's look this episode. His whole aesthetic and vibe. It was very Fire Nation. Very Fire Nation inspired. I know you haven't seen Avatar.
I've
But
seen
you've seen
bits
enough.
and pieces of it.
You've
I've seen
enough
enough
of
to
like
know.
what the
Yeah.
Fire Nation. You know what the Fire Nation
Yeah.
is, and they've got that. He had that vibe that I really did like that because it did like it. It made sense to me because I have been calling Trent Evil Uncle Iroh since we first saw him. I was like, he looks like a tall Uncle Iroh but evil.
He does. He does. See, I do know that character,
Yeah.
even though I haven't seen it in full.
Yeah. So it's like I was just like, yeah, it meshes well. It like it's cohesive. You know, well designed episode.
Yeah, very good. And our episode, I guess, to kind of dive into the episode discussion, our cold open for this one is a very young Caleb and his family, and we just get this beautiful yet heartbreaking insight into like what he was like and what his family was like before all of this happened to him. And it just, even if you don't know his backstory going into this episode, seeing where he is in the present time and then seeing little baby Caleb, you're like, oh no,
what he was like
some
when there was
shit's
still
gonna
light
happen.
in his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like,
they show
when he
that
still had a will
so
to
well
live.
throughout the episode.
Yeah.
That was one of my other notes, is just they had all these really amazing cuts of like Caleb's face. It'd be like present day Caleb, and then it would cut to like a flashback and it's of his face, and you just you see the difference in this poor man's face, like how this trauma has just changed him physically as well. And you're like, oh,
I think that's
God.
a really good. I think it's also a really good. Like it makes the entire episode a really good sort of like mirror of like PTSD as well, a little bit, because he's flashing back and forth, and like the way they constructed the episode was really good. I think like because we start and end with let me tell you a story, so the scenes, the historical scenes we get throughout the episode are sort of implied to be the story that Caleb starts telling at the end of the episode when he sits down in that chair reference, the amount of chair references, my God. Anyway, yeah, but like it was just like it was crafted in a way that makes it feel like he's flashing back to those moments as he's doing that interrogation and stuff like that, which I think was really well done. It was very clever. And
so good.
The way it like we'll get to it. No spoilers.
We'll get to it.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. Well, let's circle back to, I had a couple of points on this cold open. His mum calling him Little Spark.
Ouch.
And that comes up a few times in the episode. Not his mum calling him that, but somebody else. And,
word of the day. Ouch.
Ouch. And then another note I had is there's also this recurring theme of this purple bracelet he wears. Don't know if you noticed that, but they show it very specifically in quite a lot of the flashbacks where he's wearing that purple bracelet. And later on, it gets passed on to someone else, which we'll talk about when we get there. And which makes me think this purple bracelet is probably going to show up again in the present day.
Seems significant.
Even in a subtle way, but enough to go, oh, okay.
Yeah, we may see that character still wearing it.
Yeah, which I think I love that kind of storytelling so much because it's
very
so subtle.
Subtle placement of details.
It's like Joel's watch in The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Brutal.
Anyways.
And it's like never called attention to, but it's there, and you're like, ah.
Yep. And it just it's just clever.
Word of the day.
I'll get into it more when we get up to when we see it again. But from here, did you have any other notes on the cold open or?
The cold open is before they go inside for.
Yes. Oh yeah.
For the test, right? The foreshadowing, or is that beforehand?
No. So the cold open ends with Trent recruiting Caleb, and then he gets into the car and he meets Edwulf and
Oh
Astrid for
yeah,
the first
sorry.
time.
I was just trying to remember if it was split up in two, but it's not. Like
Oh
I
no.
was gonna say something about the foreshadowing because I clipped that in our reaction already. Like the Trent drawing attention to the arcane fire marks over the fireplace, and both of us immediately going,
Just again, such
mm.
clever storytelling, because it's like people who know his backstory go, "Oh no," and then people who don't know it go, "Oh,
Huh?
that's an interesting thing to point out."
And
And
then
I
later they go, oh no,
take it back. I don't want it.
no, 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 no.
Today while I was working, I had on in the background some reaction videos from people who are like fresh to the show, and that
Yeah.
was interesting. I feel
Were a lot of them
pain.
like really taken aback by how dark it was
Yes,
and how
there was
violent?
many clips of people just like sobbing by the end of it, which again is a sign of some like freaking awesome storytelling.
I mean, they really like it's been very like I think a lot of people have sort of noted it's been very anime coded. Like it
Yeah,
kind of is an anime.
it is. Yeah,
It's a
in a
Western
lot of
anime
ways. Mm.
functionally, but it definitely leans hard into the dark and like I want to use the word edgy, but I feel like edgy's become so synonymous with like problematic
Edge
that I
Lord.
don't mean like edgy in that way, but I mean
No.
like really like to the edge of like what can be displayed so
Yeah.
graphically like that because it was graphic.
It. Ugh.
Oh,
Oh my
okay,
god.
anyway, getting ahead of
That
ourselves again.
we're getting ahead. Okay,
Big
we're
scene.
getting excited, and we didn't think we'd have a lot to talk about this episode. Look at us
I
go.
mean, I don't have a ton of like intimate detail for like each part of the episode. It's just like such an overall like I love the ways that they like subtly bake in a lot of like trance manipulation because like something I said to you as well was like I keep saying and you just know Trent would have been doing this and you just know Trent would have been doing that and your
Mm-hmm.
mind runs wild with the possibilities of like you just know how evil and manipulative and intelligent this guy is and the ways in which he just like can completely destroy a person, like just unweave their psyche is insane.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's real scary.
Ugh.
Yeah, cold open, and then we have our opening credits back this episode. They were missing last episode, which is nice. We get a glimpse at Yasha through
Yeah.
the opening credits. Don't get too excited. And then we cut straight to where we left off last episode. So we have this fight between the Nine and Oelia, which is a fun. I really liked that scene.
It was at times a bit yucky. The maggots,
The
ew,
maggots,
ew,
nasty.
yucky. But they're really committing to that vibe for the Volstrucker, like really just like scummy. Ugh. Just like yucky, icky, nobody like you.
Nobody like
Nobody
you.
like you.
It's funny you said that. Yeah, they're icky, but I've really been enjoying this Oelia character. Like I think I watched in the behind the scenes, Matt was talking about how he had her as a character for the campaign, but she didn't quite
Yeah.
get
She gets
fleshed out just
mentioned
because of
like
where they went.
once. I think she's in a scene and
Something like that.
Trent's like, do this. And she's like, I think it's
Yeah,
like all it
but
is. It's like very passing.
yeah, but she's been really fun to have as a character.
I'm gonna be honest, I struggle with the perspective with her. Like I struggle to see that she's a halfling a lot of the time. I'm like
It's
I feel like
difficult.
the angles sometimes I'm like
It's
you know?
definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
I think one.
But
I
there's so
think
much action. They're always moving and running and fighting and punching and
I can't remember who from the behind the scenes was saying that it was a bit difficult with the height difference because they didn't want it to look like Bo was beating up a child.
Is that maybe that's why I'm struggling to like see her as a halfling because they're like
Yeah.
She looks 12 and this like adult woman's just beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, which I can see why they were sort of concerned about that.
Yeah, I
'Cause
guess it's hard. It's like for thinking about like Scanlan in campaign 1, but like you can throw huge fat 70s sideburns on him, and you understand he's not a child anymore.
yeah,
It's harder to do for women.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's kind of funny, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want Bo to look like she's just beating up some child." And I'm
Interesting.
like, "Yeah,
It's
fair."
crazy.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway from this scene is the amulet. Caleb's anti-scry amulet gets destroyed, so Oelia destroys it. And that raises the stakes for the Nine like
Yeah,
crazy.
because like it's just definitely it just is going to mean that Trent and everyone is like they're going to be on their tail the entire series essentially. Like there's no like functionally campaign spoilers from here. In the campaign, they are like kind of under the radar from the Empire for like quite a while, like
Mm,
well past the point when they're like they enter Jorhaus. Like they're still under the radar of the Empire at that stage. So this is going to be very different. Like
yeah.
they're on the Empire's radar essentially
And
from the beginning.
yeah, and spoilers for the end of the episode. Uh, Trent knows Caleb is
Alive.
somewhere and alive, so
Yeah.
it's
I kept
and
calling that in the episode. As soon as I saw the paper, I was like, remember the arcane fire? The fucking spell. Yeah.
yep. This scene we also get start seeing more of that dark side of Caleb as well. Like he's not in a good place, which is understandable. But I really liked that moment where we had Aurelia going for Caleb, and then Bo intercepts her and does the stunning fist, as they're calling it in the show, and immobilizes her and starts tying her up or whatever. And then Caleb just goes, "Nah, fuck this!" Shoots fire at her, like he wants to kill her, which understandable.
He understands what she's capable of because he's capable of it himself. It's rough. Like, yeah, he knows exactly what she's thinking, knows exactly the kind of mindset she has in how to, like, you know, escape because he knows immediately that she's freeing herself. We took our eyes off her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit ahead of
Yeah, and
myself,
then we have
but yeah.
poor Ford gets poisoned, which is an interesting like B plot throughout this
Yeah.
episode.
Well, I was thinking about that actually. I was like, it kind of felt to me in my uni media comms analytical brain. I was like, kind of feels like a convenient way just to take him out of the episode because there are a lot of other things moving. Like we've got focus other places right now, so there's like we don't want too many competing things going on at once.
Absolutely.
And I was like, but at the same time, it does give them like a couple of small moments of opportunity to do stuff with Knot and Ford, and like it gives them a moment not to just build the rivalry between them of like not about to shoot him, but
the most legendary beef.
yeah,
Ever.
but then also like her maternal instincts kicking in and going like, oh, it's okay, you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
ow,
Yeah.
ouch. Word of the day, ouch.
Ouch. This whole episode had many ouch moments. And not
So
just
many.
through Caleb, like through many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that B plot I think also was a good way to give the other characters something to do
Yeah.
while Bo and Caleb are doing their stuff.
Yeah,
So I
and it
think it was a
gives,
nice balance.
It also gives a little bit of momentum to Jester's traveler stuff, traveler strife as well. So it's like my first instinct was like weird to just kind of take Ford out of the whole episode. I'm like, oh no, it gives them moments, it gives them some good material. Like I get it now. Took me a sec to sit with it.
Yeah, because I can't imagine what the other characters would have been doing in that episode if they weren't trying to heal Ford. So
yeah. Sorry, I could hear you back for a second.
Yeah, the new Cable did shit. So that's all good. We'll like it out eventually.
And then the next scene was the one that I was like, I'm pretty sure the reaction clip to me going, "It's the start of that video game. Which one is it?" And you're like, "Skyrim," and I was like, "Yeah, I've never fucking played it. I've never fucking the one where he wakes up on the cart. I've seen the meme, but I've never fucking played Skyrim because I'm pretty sure I said this in the first episode. I've never really cared much for fantasy. Skyrim
Yeah.
has never appealed to me in concept, so
Which
I
is
just
so fair.
you know.
Yeah. Before the cart scene, though, we do have the training with traps scene
Oh
where
yes.
Ikithon is, training all of these little academy bumpkins through these, like, kind of horrific traps.
Pitting them against one another to manipulate them into sabotage and mischief and general bad behavior because that's what he wants.
Mm-hmm. And we get some cute moments of the trio as well, which is, like, kind of nice. And then
Caleb being an absolute smartass right at the end. You gave us the solution right at the beginning. All right, know it all.
Oh, honey, he's just a poor little boy with likely autism, which is funny because the start of that scene, he's late to the training because he was at the library with his books, and I just thought that was also a really sweet little Caleb moment. Nerd.
Yeah. Also, like I think I mentioned at the time as well, like crazy, like violent training for pretty young people. Like they're implied to be like late teens, like or mid-teens, right?
I think in the comic, in the Caleb comic, they're only like 16 or something.
Yeah, like
when all of this is happening.
Yeah. Like late high school kind of vibe. And
babies,
I was like,
children.
Yeah, like and those traps were like not just like freezing, but like petrification, which is like it feels kind of extreme. I know that they're like powerful magicians and they've got stuff on hand to reverse it, but like that's crazy, dude. They're kids.
You don't
I
care.
feel like this is are there laws? Are there child protection laws in the Dundalian Empire?
Probably not.
Like this feels like a violation of some kind, you know?
It's bad. And I feel like again it just really shows how just evil Trent is. Like he's just an evil, sick guy obsessed with power.
And it's just the beginning, goddamn.
Oh, it's gonna get so much worse.
Yeah. And I think like that scene also sort of shows you like not just Trent like knowing how to manipulate the entire group, but also knowing how to read the group and pit them against one another in ways that is going to benefit him. So like what he does when Caleb, Astrid, and Airwolf, manage to get over the line, he like manipulates the entire group in a way that brings the three of them closer together and makes them more codependent, makes them more aligned with one another, makes them closer, and also makes the rest of the class hate them, makes the rest of the class jealous of them, makes it all more competitive, and also gives them a bit of a superiority complex, makes them feel better about themselves, like you're ahead, you're achieving more, like we're better than you, which also has the potential to cause them to slip up. Like, and he's doing all of this very precisely, very intentionally, on purpose. Propagandist.
He's essentially grooming them. Like, it's all groomer behavior, which I guess trigger warning if that's
it's
a dark topic, but
foul.
Icky thong.
Icky thong.
Ugh. And then,
the reason he's got
any other thoughts on this scene?
The training scene? No, I think that's no. Or on the cart.
And now we're at the cart.
Yeah,
we are Skyrim. On the cart.
This is the Skyrim part.
I feel
like
part.
This could be a little bit of a Skyrim reference, maybe a little.
It would not surprise me.
There was a moment that was like, what just pings in my pattern recognition brain back here? Mm-hmm. There's just like a little thought going like, meme. There's a meme. I see a
There's
meme.
a meme there. Mm-hmm.
Weep.
I don't know why I wrote this down, but Molly is driving the cart. I don't know. I just thought that was fun.
And maybe he's got experience from the Carnival.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost, again, not to get too deep about that in particular, but he's kind of got that vibe in the party, right? Where he's sort of like steering them as a group.
He's
in
the glue.
Yeah, in terms of being the glue,
Yeah.
and he's like the light in
Yeah.
the group too, which we see throughout this episode as well.
He feels a lot more optimistic in the animated series than he did in the campaign, and I like that vibe for him. It feels more in line with like the character design overall. Like I feel like in the campaign he felt a little bit more nihilistic, whereas his character design is more absurdist. It's not like nothing matters, everything sucks. It's nothing matters, so everything matters. Like everything can be fucking awesome, and I love that vibe. Like it feels very Carney, very very Taliesin, very Taliesin Jaffe.
It is,
and I think it's just because like he didn't get the chance to like fully get the character going in the campaign. He didn't get to fully like hit stride like everyone else did.
Yeah, because I feel like this is who Molly would have become if he
absolutely
spoilers, big campaign spoilers, if he didn't bite the dust so early on. It's true though. Yeah, in this scene, throughout this episode, there's this kind of like narrative thread of this tension between Caleb and Bo that's kind of bubbling away, and it's building up, and we see it continue to bubble and build up throughout the episode. So there's some fun moments between them on the cart as well, and then they're sort of talking about the war is brewing.
War is coming. That feels a bit winter is coming too.
Winter is coming.
I also like, again, the little analytical part of my brain loves like sort of thinking about, even at that moment, knowing that the tension's building between Bo and Caleb. Like I was already thinking, and Aurelia's gonna shove a wedge in that and start, pissing them off and driving a wedge between them. Because what's crazy is that you also think Caleb has to be aware she's going to do that too. And so he's probably trying to counter it by like being really non-reactive and stuff like that. Oh, it's great. It's beautiful.
I feel like for someone like Bo, that's just going to make her more mad.
Yeah, she's very Bullet-a-gate. Is that bull in a china shop? No.
Bull. I don't know.
But very like, it is very forceful and like doesn't know like like seatbelt. You pull it too hard, it's not going to come out.
She's a hothead.
She's just going to keep pulling it way too hard, and it's not going to move. So you have to like stop and slow down to pull the seatbelt out.
She's not going to do that.
No, she doesn't have the patience, so she hasn't figured that part out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she'll get there.
That was the most autistic way to explain what I meant,
Oh, it was
very metaphorical.
Made perfect sense to me, so I don't know what that says about me, but
also you. Perhaps a touch of
oh yeah, there's definitely something wrong, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I also
anyways,
I love this. I know I'm skipping ahead, but I just scrolled down and saw Bo is hot.
Oh yeah. I have nothing else to add.
I mean, I did immediately go screenshot that one frame of her hand. Like,
of her hand? They knew exactly what they were doing, putting that in the show.
They were like, the lesbians are going to love this.
Oh yeah, they know their audience. I'll tell you that, which is just so funny. One other note I had on this scene. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Was that little scene with Molly where he's saying war is brewing, and that he knows it, or he can sense it because his pockets are empty.
Oh yeah,
clever.
Hey, crazy how this fantasy show is very relevant in the Big 25.
Well, not to get too nerdy, but
wonder where all the tax.
That's what
tax
fantasy has always kind of been.
Exactly.
It's always very political.
It's crazy that we have to say that because media literacy's going extinct.
It's gone.
Oh, it's dead in the water.
And maybe we can touch on that at the end of this, because I've been having a look at how the fandom is reacting to this episode, and there's some interesting responses, but we'll save that for the end. I
let's
think.
go through a couple more scenes. We could
Yeah.
probably. We're also 35 minutes in, so
We're doing well.
yeah.
So I guess, yeah, they come to this little shack thing, which I also made a note that it looks eerily similar to Caleb's childhood home, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it was giving, a family house kind of vibe.
Yeah. Even like the shape of it was like
Mm.
very similar, which I thought was fun. And we get some kind of like, as how I've described it in my notes, some beautifully tender moments of not being a maternal and a caregiver, which,
Yeah.
did you have thoughts there?
Not really. It's just nice. Like, it's nice to see them weaving those moments in so we can build the dynamic of the relationships as we go. Like, it does still feel like it gives us moments away from, like, the craziness going on in the A plot of this episode. And it
Yeah.
also, continues to draw the group closer together and make them more sort of
More like a family,
like more friendly
family
with each other,
vibes.
more open to each other, more likely to talk about things, that sort of
Stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could probably jump ahead.
Yeah,
We've
well,
kind
it's
of got
like,
the interrogation.
yeah, how many things can we say about, like, woof? It's rough. It's crazy.
It's rough.
It's like it was
The
well,
interrogation scene is fun. Well, fun is not the right word.
but
I don't know what the right
it's
word is.
it's fascinating to watch the dynamic between Caleb and Bo. Like, Caleb clearly trying to be, like, non-responsive and non-reactive to Bo, because the more they interact with each other, the more information Aurelia has to then use against them to try and, like, get them to fight. And, like, Auelia's, already realizing that she can just rile Bo up enough to get involved, and it's just like, oh, it's one of those, like, displays of human behavior and manipulation, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I really love those scenes. Also, side note, apparently there's some which I find this very funny, some people who are new to the world of the Mighty Nine through the show who are like shipping Bo and Caleb together, which I thought about that a little bit as I was watching these scenes, and I was like, oh no.
Okay, I know this is going to sound like I'm, like, being facetious. I'm not. I am autistic a little bit. I genuinely cannot grasp that people can look at Bo and think that she's attracted to men.
It's
Look
like,
at
I'm not
her.
gonna judge people, but like, come on, like,
Like,
her whole design, I think, is very telling of her
yeah, maybe it's
sexual
like, and people are going to
orientation.
be
But
like, you're stereotyping. We are both queer.
leave us be.
We are queer. We see queer. We say queer. All right.
And also, that's how she was written. Like, that's how Marisha wrote this character. Is she was
She
meant to
wrote
be
a
this
dyke.
like disaster, yeah, disaster dyke essentially,
She
who
wrote a
was gonna
dyke.
just sleep around and be a fuckboy, which, that didn't
Then,
pan out.
but then, she went the
Something
level up.
happened. But yeah. Also, when Caleb starts torturing Aurelia with the chain and like heating up the chain, that was so difficult to watch.
Did you say Trent or Caleb?
Caleb. Did I? I don't know. If I said Trent, I meant to say Caleb.
Either you said Caleb, but my brain was thinking Trent, and I got confused, or we'll look
To be
back at the
fair,
footage and find out later.
that scene cuts between
Yeah.
Caleb torturing Aurelia and then Trent torturing Caleb. So,
Yeah. Which, it's also like, it's crazy to watch that scene, like, so graphically, and to know just, like, it wasn't just like, because in the campaign it gets described to you, or like, I don't even know if it was described necessarily, but it was implied.
yeah.
It was like, we knew it was in some way painfully inserted in his arm, and your imagination kind of does the rest. Seeing how it happened, like, it wasn't just like needles injecting without anesthesia and it like hurts because it's magical crystal material or whatever. No, it's like shards of glass, like shards.
I was not expecting it to be that graphic.
Yo!
And also something that stood out to me in that scene as well is like just again Trent being an evil fuck. My note on this was Trent, you evil fuck. Just the manipulation during that whole scene. Like he mentions Caleb's father, he calls him Little Spark, and it's just like he's
like effectively love bombing him in the moment. Like he's almost like
Yeah.
he's giving him all of the praise and like the validation that he craves so desperately to like see him through all of this pain so that he, you know, like in like what he's doing is just conditioning him to be able to do it to himself later on. Every time he needs to go through pain, he's teaching him how to get through it by remembering those things that he loves, despite the fact that those things that he loves, me and grammar, me versus the English language, dude. I'm so tired.
You're doing great. To be fair, we're recording this on a Friday night.
9 p.m.
And we're old. I'm usually in bed by now.
I turn 30 next week.
So we're doing our best. We're a bunch of old fucks, essentially.
But yeah, despite the fact that all those things that he loves are going to be destroyed by what Trent is doing to him.
And I had another note. And so something I also actually really loved about this episode was the chair. So the chair is like, it's this funny bit from the campaign, right?
Yes, like a
but
moment
the way
where,
they
should I
flipped
explain
that
it for people? Like, because it's not like main plot. It's not spoiler.
It's not.
I'll just explain.
Yeah,
very
explain it
quickly.
first, and then I'll say my.
It was a moment in the campaign where, like, I'm pretty sure it's actually later campaign. It's just
Quite far,
dramas. But they come into a room, and Matt's trying to convey essentially that somebody was interrogated in there. He describes the scene, and he's like, and there is just a chair in the middle of the room, sitting there, empty, whatever. And it's one of those moments where the entire party, not just the characters but the players, just have one like there's only one brain cell, and they all ping it like once, and it just absolute and they just focus in on this chair, and they become obsessed with it, and they are convinced that the chair is like connected to the plot, and they just keep talking about the chair, and Matt like is trying to make it clear that it's nothing to do with the chair.
It's just a fucking chair.
And then they keep coming back to it, and then even once they realize it's not part of the plot, the joke about the chair does continue.
Yeah. It lives on forever.
Into the animated series even, because the amount of times there was just a chair like thrown into the shot and there was just like a pause, I was like, okay.
Yeah, but that's what I really liked about it. I get this running joke of a chair kind of got flipped on its head a bit, and it became this like symbol of Caleb's trauma, almost. Like when they first go into the basement, like he's looking at the chair before they put Tyler Welly to the chair. The scene with Trent where he gets the residuum in his arm, he walks in and Trent just goes, "It's just a chair."
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, I think it's Bo, pushes the chair to him, says like, "Sit down, we have questions." And he like sits in the chair. I just thought that was really fun.
One of the through lines of the episode.
Yeah. Again, here we were thinking the chair would just be a funny reference, but really they kind of used it as this quite symbolic, like...
They said, haha, here's your meme, and then they picked the chair
Here's
up
your
and
fucking chair, bitch.
They hit us with it, you know?
That's exactly it.
Haha, here's the meme.
And I just... I can imagine them sitting in that writer's room just laughing at us.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hurt them. We're gonna hurt their feelings.
They asked for the chair, they're gonna get the chair. Ugh, Trent, you evil
44,
fuck.
by the way.
All right, we're almost. Oh no, there's still quite a bit to go. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Fucking mosquito in here.
I guess was there any before we get to like the crux of the episode, which is the end? Was there any other?
I feel like we're gonna spend a lot of time on that one if we're not careful.
Yeah. Is there anything else
If we
you
wanted to
wanted
like
touch on?
breeze past a couple of things, I'll just use like the notes. Liked the flower picking. I thought it was a cute little moment for another reinforcement of Jester's struggle with the Traveler, and also a little moment for like a reinforcement of Molly. Forget dwelling on the past, you know. Forget about it.
Yeah.
You know, that was not talking
And
about
then
it. Like that.
and then also he makes a comment about wanting to stay with the group because they're all so interesting, and he doesn't need a card to tell him that there's adventure ahead with this group of chuckle fucks. I thought that was nice
distraction,
as well.
distraction.
Oh
bit,
yeah.
you know, let's
Oh
get out of
yeah.
this country because there's war. I also, there's more like the not caregiving, that sort of thing, being maternal, but also kind of like, this motherfucker,
I had a note on this and I wanted to get your thoughts. So obviously she's referenced losing a child in the previous episode, and this episode she talks about an alchemist that she tried to help or whatever, and then something happened. So I'm wondering if in the show they're making it so not actually thinks, big spoilers for the campaign, that Yeza and Luke are dead.
Yeah,
because
there is something in my brain that makes me think there was a period of time where Not did believe they were dead. I think it was.
So.
I think it might have been. It's possible it was pre-campaign.
I think it was. Yeah.
Like because like what. I don't want to like explain the way that her backstory worked, but like she does something to give them an opportunity to escape. I'll leave it there. And she doesn't know if they manage to because of what happens to her. And I think it's not till she manages to escape later and go and
because I think she goes back to their house as a goblin.
Yeah.
I mean, spoiler campaign. Campaign
spoiler.
Campaign.
But yeah,
wow,
she goes back as a goblin,
on the way out,
but she
man.
doesn't want to like be seen like that, so she just like makes sure that it's fine and then leaves again, essentially.
I feel like they're kind of setting it up that she just thinks that they're dead still, which
or
I
at
think
least just adjusting the timeline on it.
Adjusting the time, so I think at some point we'll have a moment where she sees them or something, and then she realizes they've been alive this whole time. And I think that does kind of make more narrative sense as to why she's just like, obviously there's so many layers to the goblin thing, but also
where is she
I feel
from?
like
Is it Felderwin?
Feld or something.
It's Felderwin, right?
Something like that. Like, there's so many layers to the goblin thing, but I think it does kind of make a bit more narrative sense to give her a reason not to go back or not to keep an eye on them.
She is from Felderwin, and I'm pretty sure Felderwin it's not directly between like Troston, because Trostenwald's south as well, isn't it?
I'm bringing up a map.
Yeah, I was like, I need to find. Where's the map? Give me a map. Here we go.
Map of Wildmount.
Rexentrum. We'll have to put it on screen in the pod.
We can. The magic of editing.
Trostenwald, Zadash. It's southeast. Where is it?
Trostenwald.
Felderwin Village. Okay, so yeah, it's not between. It's like up. It's slightly past Zadash. Further like north, west. No, northeast. Wait. Never soggy Weet-Bix?
To the non-Australians, that's how we tell direction.
I'm pretty sure.
Soggy Weet-Bix.
I'm pretty sure the American one is never eat soggy, and it's just a different thing.
Well,
Wheaties or something. Fucking.
I got no clue. But yeah, that's interesting. So it's. Yeah. So again, maybe
they could move that up. Like, I don't know why they would though, because I feel like that's the thread for them to go to. I keep saying Jorhas. Should I be saying Rosanna?
I mean,
I don't want to be culturally inappropriate to this fictional
culture. I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be culturally inappropriate to this fictional culture.
Yeah,
I think like
don't know,
the whole idea is that like Jorhas, it's like the only example coming to mind right now is that like Jorhas is New Zealand to Rosanna is Aotearoa.
Yeah.
like kind of vibes. Like Rosanna is the indigenous name, I think,
Yeah.
in a sense.
I mean,
So,
that makes sense.
but Jorhas is what I like automatically go to because that's where we are in the campaign, and they're going to be calling it Jorhas
It makes
for a
sense. It makes sense to say.
while. Yeah, let's just say that for
So.
continuity. We'll call it Jorhas
Yeah.
for now. We're not
Yeah.
being problematic to the fictional culture as well.
We're doing our best. We're
Can you
just...
imagine? People are like, you're being racist to the Kryn, bro. Guys, we're just talking about it.
Anyways, I don't know. Well, we tangented like crazy
we
there,
did.
but yeah. So I feel like
Alright.
because they've made too many references to like not losing something,
Yeah.
and I feel like she wouldn't make those comments if she knew they were alive.
Either that or it's like it's just a very blunt way to talk about losing them because like she fully believes she's gonna die a goblin. Because like you consider the fact there was I don't know if it was covered very closely in the campaign, and I don't know if it will be in the series, but there was also like the one of the scary parts about her being a goblin was the fact that goblin lifespans are significantly shorter. Significantly. Like I think in the campaign she said it's been 6 years since she was turned into a goblin because she's 6 years old in goblin years.
I thought it was like 2 years.
I thought she said she was like 6. Hold on.
I don't know. I only say that because in the wedding one shot she makes a reference to the hag stealing 2 years of her life. So
yeah, but I remember
I don't know.
But I remember her saying like she's 6 years old and like but there was a conversation where Sam's like, I'm an adult woman. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
I'm an adult woman. Like, I just remember that conversation. I remember her talking about her age. But, like, yeah, it's like goblin lifespans, I think they're like 18 at the max end. Like, it's short. Yeah. Short.
Anyways, back on
that's relevant to, like, her.
It is, but I'm
feeling
just
like
conscious of time.
Oh, I was making a good point.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm not saying it's not a good point.
No, you're good. I was like, you know what I mean, right?
I know. Yes, I know what you mean. Absolutely.
I'm not speaking
but we
gibberish.
still got a big chunk of the episode left. So speed running. Unless people want to hear us talk for another 2 hours. I don't know.
I mean, I'm fine to go to 90. We're at 51.
All right. So I had a couple of notes about the like dance scene. So they're at a Cobalt Soul library or institute or something, and Caleb's just like murdering these monks like crazy, and it's implied that this is the story he's telling to the Nine. So I wonder if that's gonna add any extra tension for our Empire siblings, like the fact that he just straight up murdering a whole bunch of Cobalt Soul monks.
I could very much see the opening scene of next episode being Bo like calling that up and being like, that was you, like, and like clarifying, because I think that could be an interesting moment. Bit tense, but I also think like Bo also is smart enough to see the opportunity in Caleb as well for her mission.
Oh, for sure.
He's integral, so like she's not gonna burn a bridge immediately with that, I don't think, but like she's gonna put the ace up her sleeve.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some more tension and maybe a bit of resentment there, because a lot of their early campaign relationship was a bit like that. Like, we have the infamous Bowl-gate.
Yeah,
which just
I literally was just thinking to myself, I wonder if Bo will tell Dairon. I wonder if she thinks telling Dairon will be a risk, because she thinks if Dairon will want, you know, because I don't think Dairon would be smart enough not to report Caleb, not immediately, not till they can use it, right? Like, use the connection. But it's interesting. I'm kind of like excited for that scene where Dairon gets to like the lowdown, the update, whenever they get to debrief again.
Yeah. Oof. Exciting, I just thought it's interesting, and then because there's also like campaign spoilers, like later on with Yasha, there's that whole scene where she's killing a bunch of Cobalt Soul as well, like much later in the campaign. So it's just like, damn, all of Bo's friends are just like killing,
Yeah.
murdering her coworkers left, right, and center.
But it's okay.
We'll
It'll be
get there.
fine.
It'll be fine. But I feel like it'll surely come up. And then the other note I had is the purple bracelet. That's where it comes up again. And Caleb passes it over to Astrid, and she ties her hair up with it. And
When you
just thought that was
mentioned that to me,
interesting.
like I don't remember consciously clocking the purple bracelet, but as soon as you said purple bracelet, I could see it in my head, and that's how you know it was well integrated, because even though I didn't consciously clock it, I was like, he did have a purple bracelet. And you remember that it was like there was just enough focus on it that it sticks in your mind, but maybe not fully consciously. That's so fun. And also, I immediately, when you were when you first told me about it, my first immediate thought was, I bet you the second we see Astrid again in the main plot, like we actually see her face to face with Caleb again, she's gonna have it in her hair. Bet you anything she's got it. She's gonna have it in her hair the first time they run face to face again.
Oh, that's
You reckon?
juicy.
I'm gonna
delicious.
place that bet right now. Let's see if it plays out.
Either it's in her hair or she has it
This
somewhere on her
podcast is going to be a
person.
funny test of my like pattern recognition and like my prediction
Yeah.
patterns, because I feel like sometimes I'm crazy accurate and sometimes I'm like way the fuck
like-
off. Because it's
Who
like
knows? Maybe the purple
50-50.
bracelet will never show up again.
maybe it was
I
like
doubt
truly
it,
just
but-
throwaway.
Who knows?
Or there's a continuity error. Who knows?
It definitely
Mosquito.
is some.
That's why I
Fucking
mentioned it before,
mosquito.
because I was like, I know it's gonna like attack me in the face soon enough.
Insert that clip of Bo going fucking mosquito.
Yeah, and fucking Travis with a.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it
Did we want to
also-
touch on the?
we haven't.
So the scene before that.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about the polykill yet. We haven't spoken about the
Should
thruple.
we can't not talk about
Gotta
the
talk about the
thruple.
thruple.
Gotta talk about the thruple.
I think both of us are in full agreement that we are, again, obsessed that they're being incredibly explicit about things. It's very adult-oriented, and it's very clear. There is no room for doubt in your mind that they are in a relationship. I am,
And-
as queer people, sick to death of implications. Sick of it. Enough implication.
No more.
Define it.
Show it to me.
Be
And
explicit.
it's
Cowards. Critical Role did it. Now we know the rest of you are cowards. All right? Critical Role's
direct call out.
basically independent. Like they did this. They started this whole. All these shenanigans started from a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
A Kickstarter
which is
where they
crazy.
said, "Can we please have $750K?" And we went, "Here's $11 million. Have fun."
Crazy.
Like
Crazy.
this is what we wanted, and like it just like I can't like I get so excited when I think about it, because it's like it's just the perfect example of know your audience, give them the product they want, and it will work. You will see success. Don't shy away from what you are supposed to do. Don't hesitate. Don't beat around the bush. Don't go bullshit. Don't do bullshit.
Just stop like watering down media,
Yeah.
because it's just like it's exhausting. It's like you
it's
want to
the
watch
little
something that
subtle
feels
moments.
rich.
Little
Yeah.
subtle moments that you only see on a second or a third or a fourth watch, and you're like, oh, that's so crazy. I did not see that the first time, and it's so subtle. Like that sort of stuff is so satisfying for viewers to pick up on, and I like just like the genericness of media these days makes me want to rip my eyeballs out.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Same. So that's why this has been so refreshing, and this is doing well. Like it's been like top show in the US. It was top show in
It's
Australia
engaging.
yesterday.
It
So-
like seriously, it sucks you in. Like I feel like you can probably vouch for this, because you saw what I was like before we started recording this episode, and then once I started talking about it and I like started remembering the episode, I was like, oh yeah, it was lit, because it's so engaging. It
Yeah.
just sucks you in.
Did a 180, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
It's the ADHD, bro. It just kicks in.
We're just rolling with it. That's like
Takes over.
50% of this podcast
Actually, I
is
feel
just
like it's the ADHD
chaos.
because it's a little bit the hyperfixation too. It's a little bit like the special
Yeah.
interest, like media analysis.
Oh yeah, and
Characters
that's
that I
why we
enjoy.
started this, because I was like, we need a project. What's
We
something
need
we
an
can do to
outlet for
distract
our
ourselves
autism.
from the horrors?
Distract ourselves from the horrors and an outlet for our autism.
And I was like, what do we like to do? We like to yap.
Just
So
for like
much.
way too long about nonsense.
And what do we both like? We
Well,
both like the Mighty Nine. So that's
honestly,
how we ended up here.
the Mighty Nine has like no other campaign has hit for me so far, and I have met,
Same.
I think, all of the campaign 4 characters now. I think I got all the way through them. Is
I think we
Marisha the
meet them
last
all
one to be
in-
introduced?
What? I think
Wait, I
we
finished
meet
the
them all
first
in
episode.
first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So you
finished
would
the
have met them all.
Actually, yeah, I did finish I managed to finish the first episode. I know that we are like 7 episodes in, 8 episodes in at this point.
8
Something like
episodes in now.
I'm trying my best. I fell off at about episode
It's a
like
lot.
99 of 100 of campaign 3 because I wasn't vibing with the party. Not like what my original point of this whole ramble was. Nothing's hit with me like the Mighty Nine has. The Mighty Nine has got some fucking they're laced with crack or something. They're so good.
I was about to say the same thing. It's laced with something that I just cannot get enough of.
They got the good shit. And
I
like,
don't know, man.
I love individual vibes of people. Like there's some characters I'm like, ooh, I'm curious about you in campaign 4. There's other characters in campaign 4 that I'm like, I tell you,
We will not name names unless maybe we'll do a podcast about campaign 4. Who knows?
I don't know. I like my main intrigue in campaign 4 so far is the plot over the characters. However, like so far for me, like campaign 2, the draw is fully the characters. Like the plot's good, but fully it's just the party. The characters are so incredible. Campaign 3, I was like, eventually I'm sure I'll come back around to it again because of the plot. I want to see like the culmination of all those campaigns and those arcs and storylines and, you know, the MCU of it all coming together, you know, like extended cinematic universe of it. But like the characters just don't hit the same for me as the Mighty Nine did, and same with campaign 4. Something about Mighty Nine, they just struck gold. They hit magic. It was
just like
very, very good dynamic of people.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. And I'm so glad it's getting adapted into this animated form so we can consume it all over again, like experience the story all like over again, which is so fun.
Too. I need more episodes in a season though. Could we like maybe aim for maybe 12? I don't feel like that's unreasonable. I feel like 12's pretty
It's not. Who knows?
Season 2 12?
Because it's done so well.
Oh, they've already recorded
I will say
season 3 12?
But we don't know what they had planned for season 2. But someone pointed out that by this point, by episode 5, is when I think a full season of Vox Machina would have been finished, like time-wise.
Yeah, because 22.
Yeah, but they had 12 episodes, so I can't do math.
12 episodes.
So it would be episode 6.
Yeah,
that they would be done, and so we get 4 extra.
Yeah.
Episodes,
but it's like
which is nice.
The thing is that like because of the design of the story, because of the completely different narrative, the completely different party vibe, like the pacing, like you can't even really compare the pacing because it's just so different.
No.
It's not like
different.
Like the pacing's not the same across the 2 shows, so we're not getting like even amounts of time spent across like minutes, right? Like we're getting a lot more granular with the Mighty Nine. We're seeing a lot more of the intricacies of the relationships and the dynamics moving in the small little conversations. Like this episode's a great example of it. We keep jumping back and forth between like building Caleb's backstory to building his current relationship with Bo, and you know, sort of seeing his interactions with Aurelia, and then we're also bouncing to Ford and Not and getting a little bit of that. We're bouncing to Molly and Jester and getting a little bit of that. It's like
I love the Molly and Jester scene.
It's very cute.
It's nice.
It's very yeah. Don't think about it. That one is what we're talking about. Like
The what?
the flower picking, the Molly and Justice scene.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't think about the past. Think about the future.
Think about the future.
Think about the now. I think is more Molly's vibe. Think about the now.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, after the Cobalt Soul scene, Aurelia breaks out of her captive state. Because exactly what we thought would happen is those two, Caleb and Bo, are bickering. Bo realizes he has a connection to the Volstruckers, and then Aurelia uses that moment to escape and get the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm. Oop, I
And
just
that's
probably fucked the recording up a little bit, so I can cut it out.
what'd you do?
Took a screenshot of something, so it like froze the Discord screen for a sec. It's fine. I'll just
That's fine. Just put the screenshot you took into the video. It'll be
I'll put the
fine.
screenshot on screen as an explanation as to why that just happened.
Yeah, which I just looked at the screenshot. Important business.
Very, very, very important business. Anyway, moving on.
You can tell I'm like I'm reaching my like tiredness where I go silly. So we'll try.
No, that's
try
all right.
get to the
people,
end.
the 14 subscribers who are here for this shit, I'm sure they're here for the shit. You know, the first episode was pure unadulterated like fuckery. Like there was nothing intelligent.
There was
on.
no structure.
Yeah.
And like I think we said some interesting stuff, but we're just like bouncing around like
It was buried
crazy.
in there. Though. Buried in there
Buried in there.
amongst a bunch of bullshit.
We were cooking somewhere. I don't know where.
We were cooking. It might have been meth, but we were cooking.
Okay, Walter White. Jesus.
That's a good one though. We were cooking. It may have been meth, but we were still cooking.
And that's all that matters, you know. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's the journey, not the destination or whatever.
Exactly.
So I had a couple of notes on that where she breaks out.
Yeah. Same
She has this moment where she says to Caleb, "Father still loves you," which is just.
And it's also like it's taught, like, you know, he's instilled the manipulation in them too. Like she just immediately does it to him, immediately manipulates him. Like it's just, it's like, you know, I think almost a bit of a display of the cyclical nature of it, right? And it also, I think, if you think about it, and if you're getting as deep as we are, you know, you think about the strength it takes to break out of that kind of cyclical, thing. It's like, it's such a difficult thing to break free from. So the fact that Caleb not only broke free from it, but is alive, like he's living, and is in, you know, even as much as he's struggling to do so, attempting to take his, you know, agency back by killing them, essentially.
Yeah.
It's
dark.
Crazy.
So
but like,
dark.
I think it's a good perspective shift on Caleb a little bit, because like, I think I don't know if I said it in one of our episodes yet, but like, one of the things that sort of is a part of Caleb that makes me not like him as much is that he's just always placing himself in the victim role. He's always victimizing himself, and he's always like, I don't want to say like woe is me, because like he deserves to be woe is me, because holy shit, he's been through a lot. But at the same time, it's like, you know, continuing to, you know, place yourself in that role of the victim, continuing to victimize yourself means you're never going to empower yourself. You're never going to take that power back. So you're just sort of
100%.
keeping yourself down. And like, I get frustrated with him in that sense. Like he just kind of, he never quite lets go of that like dreary, like, until like right towards the end.
Yeah. It's a journey, that's for sure.
But yeah, like
you're spot on
it's a
with that.
good perspective shift in terms of like the fact that he has survived all of that, not just survived all of it, but got out, deprogrammed himself, you know. That is like, you know, he essentially left a cult. Like he managed to escape 100%.
It's
Crazy
a cult
town.
for sure. And
like grooming,
the fact he managed to do that, and he's actively resisting.
Yeah.
Still,
also,
like that's
now that we're talking
crazy.
about it, I have to wonder, like, with how much grooming, manipulation, all that sort of stuff was going on, and also like, you know, how much we know about like corruption and with what's going on in the world right now, the man with the island, like I have to wonder if like Trent, in a way manipulated Astrid, Aedwulf, and Caleb to become, or Bren to become like sexually intimate. Like that's probably
Would not surprise me.
It's not a far-fetched idea, and it's like
No.
it makes it so sad. I really like hope it wouldn't be the case, but like again, my mind just goes to that place of like it would not fucking surprise me with these kinds of people,
Wouldn't
these
surprise
kinds of
me.
systems. They just protect predators. Like that's what they are. Like they literally
100%.
just house predators and give them insane amounts of power to do this much harm.
It's just like
Fucked up.
It's heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking as well because we know Astrid and Aedwulf are still in that. They're still stuck in this abusive, traumatic situation, and it's just
codependent relationship that's like
heartbreaking,
based in brainwash.
Yeah,
brainwashing. It's sad. It makes me think about like the Hunger Games, because that's been sort of on the For You page a lot with Sunrise on the Reaping coming out next year, like the trailer that dropped recently. But like, it makes me think about the fact that it's never really it's very rarely explicitly talked about in the Hunger Games books, but it's heavily implied and very obvious throughout that like, the Capitol sexualizes these children as they go into the games and stuff like that, and Finnick is like essentially prostituted once he becomes a victor, and it's like it just reminds me of that. That's where my brain connects to, which is like it's just this display of like this corruption and how deep it gets and how disgusting it is.
It's awful, and that is a fantastic segue into the next scene where they're having dinner with Trent, a celebratory, woo, we got our thing that we were trying to get. We killed a whole bunch of monks in the process. And there's just this eerie, like, uncomfortable display of that brainwashing where they're sort of each talking about what they would do to traitors of the Empire. Like, essentially still very young kids talking about how they want to...
Yeah. Normalizing violence in their mind. Like, hey, how would you brutally murder these people? Making them think about it, making it feel normal. Desensitizing them to it.
They're talking about it so jovially as well. Like, they're just like, yeah, I would do this, and that. Ha, ha.
It genuinely feels
it's just
so
uncomfortable.
Like, you just think about where we are right now in our reality, in our world, and like the amount of conversations that we've been having recently, just in the past, 11 to 12 months about the alt-right pipeline, and like it is so scary. It is so scary how deep it can like weave its way into someone before they even realize, before they understand what's happening. Like it's insidious.
It's yucky. And then Trent asks Caleb like what he would do to traitors, and Caleb has the most gory, brutal answer out of the three of them, and
because he's trying to
Trent,
please Trent.
Evil.
He's trying, and like he's purely trying to please Trent by just saying something gruesome. I feel like I know he just does also truly believe it, but like it's also a learned response to be like, this is what Trent would want to hear or would do something brutally violent. Yeah.
And that kind of leads to Trent going, well, I'm so glad you said that, because your next mission is to shut down the rebellion group that's forming. Yeah. And he's like, oh, it comes with some tragic news, Caleb, or Bran. And then gives him the scroll. And I assume, is that what they were stealing from the Cobalt Soul, the scroll of names?
I mean, I bet
don't know.
they were told that's what they were stealing from the Cobalt Soul, but I don't think it was what they actually stole from the Cobalt Soul. I think it was what Trent replaced it with, because I think he was manipulating them. Like that's very much implied in the campaign. Like that. Like I believe in the campaign spoilers. His backstory is canonically that he actually was like a spell was used to alter his memory,
Yeah.
And it made him like believe he had overheard his parents speaking about being rebels of the to the
Yeah.
Empire, and
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what happened.
convinced him that his parents were traitors. And because at that point he'd been so brainwashed and manipulated by Trent, he like ends up, I don't know if he doesn't do it of his own volition. He's told to do it still, but he does it to like prove
I think
his,
so, but he
I think
has that.
I think it's done as a test to like prove his
Yeah.
his commitment to Volstrucker, essentially, if my memory's
Yeah.
serving
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. And yeah, so the scroll has his parents' names on it or whatever, and there's been a lot of back and forth on this. I've sort of observed in the fandom where people are sort of like, oh, don't really understand why they, changed that he had his memories altered. Like, I feel like that changes, how that feels, but I don't think it does. And we also, again, Trent is master manipulator. It's very likely he just put his parents' names on the scroll. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're traitors, and I don't think it changes the weight of the following scene, really.
No. I'm just like it's you could say like maybe the memory spell would have changed the gravity of it somewhat, but like functionally Trent is using memory tactics, manipulation on them the entire time. Like he's gaslighting them, he's manipulating them, he would be like, obviously we don't get all of this detail, we don't see every single moment he spends manipulating these fucking teenagers, but he would, like, it doesn't take much extrapolating to imagine what he would be doing, because like you just think about what kind of manipulator he is. You validate the feelings that he validates, the feelings he wants to see, he invalidates what he wants to get rid of, he gaslights them away from it. Like anytime any of them shows any crumb of morality, make them feel like shit. Shame, that sort of stuff. It's like very basic tactics that people like him use. And it fucks with people's head, it fucks with your mind. You start to question yourself and question your memory, and that's why I think in the campaign, I think it's very much more heavily implied that's why Caleb ends up in a sanatorium after he manages to leave.
Which, again, maybe this is a good segue into the next scene where the Inferno begins, where Caleb catches up to Aurelia, and she starts talking about his past a bit. She goes, well, I thought you were still locked up in, the sanatorium or whatever. So I wonder if that's going to come back at all, or if they'll show some of that.
They may clarify it a little, like he may sort of explain more verbally, like, he spent this many years in a sanatorium before managing to escape. I feel like we'll get a little bit of elaboration at the start of the next episode, at least a little bit where we left off.
But yeah, I feel like we probably won't get any more Caleb flashbacks or backstory.
No, it'll all just be
gotten
him
a lot.
saying. I think it'll just be him speaking to the Nine if he elaborates on anything.
Or maybe they'll just save it for a future season, or maybe they'll just leave it implied. Who knows?
Guess we'll see.
But yeah, we get to see his cat paw as well, which is fun.
I feel like I think it's a skin of Maximilian Earthen Grasp, which is cool. Don't mind me just naming.
Don't know what any of those words mean, but
it's because I think I had access to it as a bard once.
Right.
I remember the spell. Anyway, moving on. Next is Poon Clap.
Poon Clap. I just love they have this fantastic balance between like deeply dark and horrific and traumatic scenes, and then like you gotta have a little bit of goofy chucklefuck business in between. I just thought that was brilliant.
Oh, it's also just very good writing, very good TV writing, because it breaks the tension for the audience. Like, we're seeing the scene and we're building anticipation, and like we're going, oh god, oh god, oh god, and you don't want them to like really stay rigid for the entire, because there's a lot of intensity coming. So you want to like break the moment, bring them back down, give them a laugh, go, haha, release the tension a bit, and then get back into it and build them up again. It's a very clever editing, very clever writing, I think. Well done.
Yeah, because the next sequence is not pretty. It's not. It was not pleasant to watch.
And it was
Like,
not
but I mean
meant
that
to
in a good
be.
way.
Yeah, it was not meant
Yes.
to be. It was meant to make you uncomfortable. And if it made you uncomfortable, then it did its job.
Uh-huh. Just this the building up of this trauma and this breakdown. This scene had some of the best like 2D animated facial expressions I think I've
And
ever
editing, I
seen,
think,
and
as well. Like
oh
the
yeah,
pace of the editing, like the way the flashing back and forth speeds up and gets closer and closer. Like, and it's because it's not like an even speed up. There's like beats to it. It's very
it's
well edited.
exponential for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they're building the tension, and I really liked watching new people react to that scene in particular because they're going, oh, 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 just like
Oh,
this
yeah.
journey, and
It's very,
just I,
it's very.
I guess that's probably one of my favorite
Oof.
bits from the show so far. Just it. And I had this really great note. One of my favorite details was Caleb's crying and his tears are turning to steam from the heat of the fire. And it created this like incredible visual of this just distorted face and this like steam coming off it.
Yeah. I'm sure when I get to it,
whoever did that, I love you.
like when I get to us, I'm pretty sure like I was thinking about when I was gonna edit the reaction video we did. I was like, I'm sure there's gonna be a great way for me to cut together just a smash cut of us in visceral discomfort through the whole thing, just like, and like loving the fact that we're in that much discomfort. Like, again,
Yes.
I cannot convey enough how much I appreciate how well this was done, because it makes you feel so viscerally uncomfortable. Like, media is well done when you can feel it in your nervous system, when you feel it in your chest and you're like, that's good media, that's good shit, that's good shit.
Yeah.
I want that
And we
shit.
touched on this at the start of the episode where it's just like so much media these days is just getting watered down, it's being censored, and all this crap, and it's like you get something like this and you're like, thank fuck. Thank fuck I'm feeling something.
Yeah, like these huge climactic moments that keep you like locked in, like you cannot move. You're just waiting for the scene to end because you're like, oh, like this is crazy. That is getting rarer and rarer. It is so much harder to find in modern media because it's just like reskins and repeats and just like, you know, sanitization of once good stories.
Yeah.
It's
and
sad.
Can we talk about the cat sounds? That was so evil, but
so unnecessary
in a great way. But like I was not expecting that. Like I knew Frumpkin was gonna die in the fire, but I was like, oh my god, they're making me listen to this cat burning alive. And then they had that really sad shot of Frumpkin silhouette clawing at the window, and I just like,
they really
oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself.
They really wanted to hurt us. They really wanted to hurt us.
And I don't know if you've watched the behind the scenes yet, but it was quite amusing when they were talking about that scene. Tasha, the showrunner, she's amazing. Like she's doing such a fantastic job with this show, and like she's a fan of the campaign as well, like, which I think also really shows. But she was saying that she was asking them to like dial up the cat sound. She's like, give me more. Give me more.
Make it hurt. Like, make it hurt.
Oh man,
I want to traumatize them as much as Caleb was.
Yeah. And then Travis was saying that they had an even worse version of this scene where they actually showed, I know, worse somehow, when they actually showed Frumpkin's face, like the facial expression of this cat as it's like burning alive, but they changed it to the silhouette. They dialed it back a bit, which I think was a good choice.
Yeah, I think like that's just kind of like, I think at that point it's a little bit gratuitous. It's like, how much torture porn do we need?
Yeah,
I think we had just balance, the right amount. Yeah.
And I think there's something that's just very powerful about a silhouette. Because it's like you kind of fill in the blanks, and
Oh,
our minds are often more scary than
we'll
what they can
imagine
show
the
us on a
worst case
screen.
scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like
So,
the fact that we only got a couple of very short glimpses of Aurelia in like the middle of that kind of thing, it is also kind of, again, just giving you just enough for your imagination to be like, oh, like that's got to be the worst way to go.
yeah,
Ooh,
but she was cackling. She was
evil.
having a laugh.
And hey,
But again, that shows her trauma and brainwashing too, right? Like,
if Caleb needs a new business idea,
oh,
on the spot cremation, $9.99.
oh my god, that's almost as bad as my original title for this scene was Oelia fried chicken, but I changed it. 'Cause
Oh
it seems a
god,
bit too much
fried, burnt,
burnt
burnt.
to a crisp.
Ooh. But it's just brutal because, again, like I mean, I'm always, I think I'm pretty sensitive to like body horror because my brain does immediately go to like imagine it happening to you. So you're like,
Yeah,
that's the worst way to go. That's the worst way to go. Eee.
not fun.
Yucky.
And in her
but
last moments,
she fucking blows Caleb's spot up with that arcane paper, which is a nice little throwback to the start of the episode as well. And I'm pretty sure there's a moment in the episode where right before it happens, I'm like, she's gonna fucking, yep.
she's doing it, and she's laughing.
That bitch.
She gets the last laugh, and you know what? Respect.
You know what? And then she dies. So
Yeah, and just burnt to a crisp. But yeah, that scene, there's like, I think I could name on one hand like scenes from media that will stick with me forever, and this is definitely on that list.
this is the one that you like. If it ever does like fade to the back of your mind, in like 10, 15 years time, you'll rewatch the show and you'll be like, oh god, I remember this scene. Oh no.
Yeah.
It'll come
And
like rushing back.
Yeah. And I think it's just such a great way to kind of show this trauma and pain that Caleb has been carrying with him. It's all, like, obviously it doesn't make the trauma and the pain go away, but like he is taking back a bit of that agency, right? I think you were sort of alluding to that earlier, he's just like letting it out.
I don't even know if he's really taking his agency back in this moment, because like what I was kind of getting the vibe when it was flashing to him in real time, like in the current moment with Aurelia, was like how dead behind the eyes he was. Like he was so vacant. It was definitely reading to me, and especially with the way he collapses at the end, reads to me like he was kind of not really in full control of himself.
He was probably disassociating.
I think he was having like a dissociative episode, and I'm kind of curious to see if that comes up again, because that is a element of him in the campaign. That is an element that Liam plays as Caleb in the campaign. In early campaign 2, he like self-imposed a rule where like when he's in the vicinity of fire, he has to roll a certain save, and if he fails, like he has a dissociative episode essentially.
Yeah.
He's got
I think it was like if he's using fire against
if he kills
or enemies,
like,
whatever,
does damage with
he has
fire,
to roll a wisdom saving throw. I think it was
something like that.
Yeah,
like,
which love that.
Yeah, like it gives him a bit of a hamstring in a fight because he could just completely take himself out accidentally. But it's an interesting way for them to like work into the show, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think that is a more accurate read of that scene. Now that you say it, like this disassociative,
just
trauma response, and just
like trauma just like driving him straight to like a brutal amount of violence, because it's really all his nervous system and his body knows.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Like when you were saying about the Cobalt Soul scene, you didn't mention this earlier. I did think it though. I don't know why I forgot about it. But it's not just the fact that they're killing all these monks; they're killing them in a pretty brutal way.
So so
like
violent
a pretty
and
pretty unnecessarily violent way, especially when you consider the
yeah,
Volstrucker are supposed to be these like elite spies. So if they're elite spies and they're supposed to be theoretically the good guys,
they're meant to
they
be
should be
assassins, right?
they should be putting these people down quickly, cleanly, kind of painlessly in a way.
Quietly.
And they're doing it so brutally instead, and it just kind of it makes you think like Trent definitely trained this into them, because the more violent they are, like it's exponential. It will just continue to grow
Yeah.
in them.
Yeah, for sure. And
Worst.
in that Cobalt Soul scene as well, like they just have blank expressions on their faces as well. Like they're
They're so
not feeling
desensitized to it.
anything about what they're doing, and it's just
It's rough.
brutal.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to go back. We are now.
No, it was a good
1:30.
throwback.
So
Okay,
do we want to
damn.
talk about final scene, final thoughts?
Yeah, let's go to the final scene, the aftermath.
It was a
starts
nice way to
with-
round the episode. It gives you a nice little heartwarming moment with Not, because like I'm not sure why I didn't think about getting the "He's My Boy" scene this season. Sorry,
I
but
was
we did.
surprised.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're
Yeah.
about to get it. We're about to get it. Like as soon as like they started having that conversation, I could see where it was going. I was like, oh, lock in. We're about to get the "He's My Boy."
like, I feel like it kind of makes sense to have it this early, but I was not expecting it at all.
As soon as it started, I was like, oh, it makes sense to put it here at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
of what just happened. Definitely makes sense. And it also, it is like a tie to her other maternal moments in the episode, I think. Like,
Yeah.
yes, our relationship is that of a parent and a child, but I'm the parent. You understand? He's my boy. Is like, it just kind of makes you think about her moment. I think it made me think about her moment with Ford again, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very intentional on their part as well, to lay that narrative thread for Not throughout every episode, right? This like maternal
Really bringing it
instinct that
forward.
she
Yeah.
has, and which makes me think we might get more hints towards her backstory this season, because like thinking about the other characters, they've not, maybe aside from Ford, they've not put in like a ton of like backstory threads, like if you get what I mean.
No, we've been like, well, the thing is that we kind of have backstory for everybody. That's the thing, because we have the session 0 information, right? We don't have like backstory, but we have an idea of where they came from. We have an idea of their motives.
Yeah.
Bo is on a mission from the Cobalt Soul, and
Yeah.
so I feel like that's probably satisfying enough for us that we aren't questioning her like full backstory yet. We're not like, where did you come from?
Because it's
And then there's also like, you know, we know Ford came from the ship, and you know, I'm sure people who are intrigued by him might be thinking about beforehand, but again, the audience
Did you
is
say
probably...
Widow Ford?
No,
Or am I like tripping out like crazy?
I said we know Ford.
We know. It's
Yeah.
like
Widow?
the fuck are you saying?
Widow Ford?
Anyways,
No, because that's not the... Is it Widow Ford? Is that ship name?
I don't know actually. It might be.
I think it must be, because nobody was using stone.
N-
He barely mentions it till like episode like 80 or something crazy. Like,
Oh man, there's too
Anyway.
many ships. I can't. keep
anyway. But yeah, like we know Ford came from the ship. That's also probably satisfying us enough right now. So I think like
Yeah.
Not is kind of one of the true mysteries, because we are getting a lot of hints for her. It makes me feel like we are going to
Yeah.
get hers potentially next. We also
Man,
we don't
I'm
really
not
need
ready for that
We know
one.
Jester's whole backstory already, kind of. It's implied.
Yeah.
She's been at the chateau.
I feel like for her, like her journey is not so much revealing the backstory, but it's like her growth and
Yeah, it's
her
growth in
relationship
in
with the
plot,
traveler.
yeah. And like we
Yeah.
will get moments for her backstory as well. Like we get I just remembered that we're gonna get an animated Traveler Con.
This is jumping so far. This is probably like seasons in the future. I am so excited. I love
It's gonna
TravelerCon.
be so good.
Tangent.
God. I fear after the season ends, we are gonna be rewatching campaign 2, which is gonna
We
hamper
are.
my ability to watch
I'm
campaign
holding
4, but
I'm holding off because I've been wanting to rewatch it
Yeah,
like
I mean, I've
alongside the
got
show.
the
But I'm
urge
gonna wait.
now.
We'll wait
Honestly,
and
we
we'll
should wait and then do a rewatch and perhaps podcast about it. Maybe that's
I think we should, because it's going to be really interesting to reflect back on the show as well.
and
So even if we just watch like the first
insider scoop.
bit while we wait.
Insider scoop. Footage does exist of our reaction to certain moments throughout the campaign because I Snapchatted and saved a bunch of them. And they are still in my Snapchat memories, and I found a bunch of them the other day. Like last week, I think it was. Like and we keep talking about like potentially posting some to the.
I think we should, because
But
it's so
a lot
funny.
of the reactions are to to late game Boyasha moments, so could be a little bit spoilery. Like I found one of the more recent clips I found was, or Snapchats I should say, I found was us reacting to the very first tour of Caleb's nascent 9-sided tower, which has some interesting moments.
Oh my god, I'm just like, I can't wait until it's probably going to be season 2, season 3, like where we start getting like the early Boyasha shenanigans, because I know they're gonna lay the groundwork. It's gonna be slow burn as fuck.
I think we could get a Boyasha moment as soon as next episode, if our theories are correct. Listen, you saw that playlist, you showed me that playlist, which was like the end of the last episode was right before a song called The Orphan Maker.
Yeah.
Should we she comes alone, but she comes
Should we wrap up
with another.
Is there anything else we want to say about the episode, and then we can talk about like what's next?
The last thing I was going to say is the Molly judges no one for their past moment. Again, another moment of like, I do really love the subtle shift they've pulled with Molly. Just
it's so good.
In the campaign, he read more nihilistic to me. In the series, he's reading more absurdist, and that feels like way more in line with what I like expect out of Molly, or like what I have come to expect out of like Molly's kind of character design. So I really love the way they've lent into that. It's making him so much more, and I don't say this to be like I didn't like him in the campaign. I find this version
underbaked.
of him so much more likable. Yeah, underbaked for sure. Undercooked. Get back in the kitchen.
Undercooked. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
And then
final thoughts.
Yeah,
ouch.
that's it.
Word of the day.
Ouch.
That was rough. It felt like a bit of a pit stop, almost like a break from the main plot, and I'm excited to get back into it, especially if there is a Yasha mention or appearance. We were talking last week after the episode. I think we were talking after the episode about like being a little bit concerned about how long they've dropped this narrative thread for, because new audiences have forgotten who she is.
Yeah, either that or they're just like confused as fuck, because she's also in the opening sequence. So they're seeing her in the opening sequence, but then not seeing her in the show at all. It's like, not last week, this week they did. So,
but a lot of people also will skip the intro.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like, and it's like I'm trying to have trust. I'm trying to have trust, but I'm like, my little media analysis brain is going, new audiences don't remember her. New audiences don't remember her. And I'm scared that people are going to be dickheads about it.
I have so many complex thoughts. And I'm like, I'm anxious to just get to the end of the season so we have the full journey, because it's really hard to look ahead and not kind of go, what is going on? Because it's a tricky one. And I think there's also so many layers to it because of the history of the fandom and how they treat Yasha as well. It's just kind of like, there's a lot going on. You feel my pain.
Yeah. I'm really hopeful that, like, we are right. The Orphan Maker shall appear next episode, and things will be right with the world. But yeah, I just like, it's like you can't help but fear the worst. Like,
it's hard not to.
It is my nature to kind of set my expectations in hell.
Yeah.
So that I cannot be disappointed much, but it's crazy how quickly people will find ways to disappoint you.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, I feel pretty confident. My theory is that our cold open for next episode is gonna be a Yasha
Yasha.
scene
But then we'll cut
with
back
the
to the
Orphan
9.
Maker song, and then we'll cut back to the 9.
I think I could see an episode where it's cold open, Orphan Maker, back to the 9, and then we have almost like another moment of like what episode 3 was, where they are passing in the vicinity of one another until they kind of cross paths. Could be cool.
Yeah.
I also think it would be interesting, like, to see perhaps if they try to play with the audience a little bit, because I could see them sort of trying to imply maybe that Yasha's been following them, and then she engineers a run-in with them and gets in their good graces and it sort of frames it in a way that makes the audience think that she's trying to infiltrate, to be like, hey, you know, but like in actuality she's just awkward as fuck, and she's like so doesn't know how to people, and she's like,
She don't know what she's
"Hey,
doing.
how are you?"
She's a woman of few words.
She says just as many as she needs to.
Oh,
And
you know, it's funny.
And they hit every single time. She smells like a crayon.
It's funny because the show, in the behind the scenes, they were joking. I think it was Sam. It was either Sam or Tasha said, "Oh, well, you know, Yasha's the easiest to write for because she just walks into a room and says like 2 words." So if that's any indication of what's to come, I will eat the shit out of it. You know, I'm eating that up.
However, I don't know if you watched all of the Snapchats that I pulled and sent to you in Discord, but one of them was us right after a moment in late campaign 2. I think in the clip I'm like legitimately explaining it, and it's she didn't just write like a letter. She like basically wrote a whole poem, and she did not just put it on paper and give it to Marisha to read. She recorded herself as Yasha reading it, and it was played.
No, she just read it out.
Wait, yeah, she did. I'm
thinking
of which moment was it? It was a campaign 1 moment. It was a fucking guest character. Anyway, I just literally merged a campaign 1 moment and a campaign 2 moment. It just fused in my brain. And anyone who's seen campaign 1 is going to know what I'm talking about. Patrick Rothfuss, his character. I figured it out. Patrick Rothfuss his character recorded a message for Keyleth. Anyway, moving on. She reads it out, and it's like you and I just sitting there like gripped. We're just like,
that shit was like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyways,
147.
Yeah. So I guess
a lot of that crap out.
we can cut a lot. We're yapping, but that's fine. That's what we're here for.
But yeah, I could see that
so
happening next episode.
Cold open, Yasha, I think would be a really interesting way to open the episode, especially after not seeing her for a long time.
Yeah, I think we're also like just thinking about what they need to update the audience on. We're gonna need to know where the beacon is, what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Especially if Yasha's showing up, because she, last we heard, looking for the beacon.
Yeah, which I'm so curious about, because obviously we see the symbol on her neck, so it's implied she's, campaign spoilers, under the control of Oban, who exists in the show in some form because Ashley has mentioned him in interviews and stuff. Because I saw some people theorizing that, like, oh, they could write out Oban, change him to something else, but I feel like he's too important to Yasha's
I feel
arc
like it's
as
also
a character.
Like when you think about how he actually exists in the campaign, it's very easy to switch like the narrative because the thing with Oban is that he has his own specific plot motivations, but he doesn't know that he's being manipulated and being puppeted by something larger. So all you have to do is swap out the puppet master.
Exactly.
It's pretty easy to do.
But we
shall see.
Interesting in episode 4 as we see the rift. Like Molly has that moment with the rift, and we know in the campaign Oban is opening rifts.
Yep.
And that was tied to the Devil Toad in the campaign as well.
Yeah.
So it's like they're laying some threads. So I wonder if that might be alluded to. I don't know if we'll see Oban this season, but
we're going to be getting, like, as we head towards the end of the season, we're going to probably get a couple of little, like, narrative, teasers towards what is in the future, like, because that's again another beautiful thing about doing an adaptation like this, where the narrative is like, the main beats of the narrative are really already paved out in completion. You can really work to bring a lot of the late game stuff forward and like and tease it and make it a really satisfying crawl to the ending. It's gonna be good.
And I've read a couple of reviews that sort of describe season 1 as like an overture almost, where they're sort of like establishing the characters, they're establishing the world, they're establishing some political.
I'm a little frustrated that we are
stuff.
seemingly going to get only 3 episodes of Yasha establishment.
I'm keeping my expectations very low.
I really was they do it justice, because 3 out of 8 kind of sad. They said she was in this season, and I'm being petulant about it.
I will say their communication about it has been interesting. I feel like they should have just like come out and kind of been a little up. Maybe, well, you can't really be upfront about it because you don't want to spoil it. But
be more mysterious, because I feel like they did say she's in the season. It's like, okay, you're making it sound like she's there from the start. But if they had been like, you'll see, I think it would have been a lot easier to be like, she's not here yet, But now we're like, where, now?
And that's like,
gimme
a big theme when I'm going on the online spaces. It's like people are asking,
gimme
where she is, because she's a very well loved character, as she should be.
Yasha. gimme. It's like a brat child. Gimme Yasha.
Gimme Yasha. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna throw a tantrum.
Whenever I get on the online spaces, I'm like, I'm being so annoying, but I don't care.
But
I'm going to keep being annoying until I see her again.
As a joke, like, we're like, oh, we're gonna throw a tantrum, ha ha ha, and then people will be like, why are you throwing a tantrum? It's like,
I'm not actually having a tantrum.
Okay.
Maybe
sorry, Chief.
Behind the scenes I'm having a tantrum about it, but like
internally, possibly. Wouldn't you like to know, Weatherboy?
Yeah, I will say I had the biggest crash out probably known to man when I came to the not an actual crash out, but I had some feelings when I came to the realization that Yasha was not going to be in this season very much.
Mm-hmm.
It was an astronomically disastrous spiral
it's
of
because we're attached
feelings.
We're attached to the characters in certain ways, and we've been like anticipating seeing them, and we're getting annoyed that we haven't seen the one that's our favorite.
Yeah. And I will say, I think the communication of it sort of hyped it up a lot.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, yeah, we're going to, Ashley wasn't here, but now she gets to be here more. So we get to do so much more stuff. And it's like, well, right now we have less than what we
kind
did
of set expectations
campaign, really.
in a weird way for the season 1. It like could have been maybe left a bit more mysterious until she started to drop into the plot. And then they could be like, now she's here to stay.
Yeah. Because it did definitely hyped people up. People were getting really excited, and then it's sort of like,
and
we're at episode 5, and she's been on screen for like maybe a minute.
Yeah, and we also, this is a fandom that I've said before, and I'll probably keep repeating, probably full of neurodivergent people who can be very intense about things, and that's not a bad thing. That just means we have intense emotions about things. It
means we care, right?
We care a lot, and we
care enough to give a shit.
We are getting anxious and like anticipating Yasha because we want to see her so badly.
Yeah. And yeah, kind of listening to what Ashley said about it, she's sort of said or alluded to that like her story and her arc is like essentially similar or the same as the campaign.
Yeah.
But again, who knows how true that is.
We shall see.
The biggest change she said they made was how she meets the Nine and how she sort of like comes together with this group. And I feel like I'm trying to like piece together what people have been sort of saying about it, where I'm like,
I truly think we're going to
part of me wonders,
next episode. I think we have
I don't know. I feel like she might not actually meet up with the Nine. until the
She's gonna
last
be
episode.
in next
It's
episode.
kind of.
She has to be.
She's gonna be in the episode. I feel
They
like she
surely
has to.
like if we already feel like they cannot leave this narrative, like they've already left the narrative thread down for too long, she's gonna have to be. Next episode is called Many Gifts, and I would like to remind you about I have many gifts to give. I have many flowers to bring her. Like she has. There could be something there. So I might cut that out because that's rough. That one's a rough spoiler. That one's no.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming most people watching this have watched the campaign, but spoiler warning, I guess.
But yeah, there could
flowers.
be something there.
True. And then the episode after that is called Belonging, which is a very big Yasha thing. I also read a review that sort of like alluded to and hinted towards like flashbacks with her, so that maybe we'll get to see a little more there as well, which I think would be
I really don't like the vibe of one party member coming in late, but then I also remind myself we've got another one coming in even after that, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
It's a conflicting thing because it's not having Yasha there, like it's a big thing for a lot of people, and one of the other big things I keep hearing people say is like Molly and Yasha, like that is such a big part of both their characters. So it's like I'm curious how they're gonna handle it because it's yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh
no.
I'm so glad we're catching this in the podcast though. What if Lucian knew Yasha? And Molly would
be interesting.
And Molly has a familiarity with her because Lucian knew her.
Ooh.
So they meet Yasha for the first time. Molly and Yasha don't know each other, but Yasha knows Lucian potentially, or like maybe doesn't remember Lucian because she was under Oban's control.
Because her memories are all fucked too, right?
So maybe like neither of them remember each other, but they both have familiarity with each other and they're drawn to each other. Ooh,
that could be fun.
Do that. Now that we know they're not together at the start, do that. Critical Role, do that. I know you can't change it now, but do that.
I
do that.
like that because I'm
idea.
Not a big fan of like this idea that she finally meets up with the Nine and Molly goes, "Oh, it's you. Where have you been?" Like I don't.
That feels cheesy.
Like that. It feels.
Don't I know you?
Do
we know each other?
Fun.
That's better. Oh,
yes.
Because then it also could be like a little moment of like a flash forward to what's going to happen with Kree at the evening nip.
I like this. This is the one Molly Yasha theory.
Placing my bets. I just
that
got
feels...
a shot of myself where I was like, I feel like my pupils dilated. I was like, I'm locked in.
If I had time, I'd love to animate some like visuals of like
as soon as we stop recording, I'm gonna watch that moment of me like having that epiphany come immediately because that was crazy. I just had that moment of like we talked about like Lucian with the riffs, having like I've seen this before, but the memory doesn't feel like mine. So I was like, wait, hold on. I had the idea of maybe they have met and we're going to find out. And they're going to be like, hey, we used to know each other. And you were like, I don't love that idea. And I was like, yeah, but like, it would feel better to me.
How else could they do it?
It would feel better to me than them not having any connection at all. And they just kind of get dropped in together. And I'm like, this feels like a really clever way to do it. And it feels like a Critical Role way to do it.
I'm a big fan.
You know what I mean?
I'm a big fan.
It sort of, it gives like a really like sort of clear reason to why they feel so drawn to each other that they don't necessarily like verbalize much. But they talk about it a lot in talks and stuff. Like Ashley and Taliesin said, like Yasha and Molly feel very drawn to each other. They're not like, very like I think we've had the conversation before, like very twin flame-esque. Characters, Molly and Yasha together, like platonics, like almost platonic soulmate sort of thing.
Soulmates
but like familial,
is how I like to describe
it's also like very familial, very found family. But yeah, like it would make a lot of sense, like for them to feel drawn to each other because they both have met, but neither of them have the memory anymore. And there's just that like lingering familiarity of like I think I know you.
And it's like, and it
gives them a good reason to stick together because they're like, whoa, Like, maybe you can tell me about my past.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. And I'll die on this hill. I really want a scene where Molly pulls the love card for Yasha, because in the Molly Origins comic, he designs the card for Yasha. Like, he puts it in the deck. It's inspired by her.
Yeah.
He has I think Taliesin said in a talks or something that Molly has a tattoo for Yasha. Like, that's how deep this connection is with these two characters. So it's like,
I could totally see this.
They can't
Especially
get rid of
because
that. I just feel like it would be
Especially
weird.
because Lucian has a lot of the same personality traits as Molly, right? Like, he's like a skewed version. It's not the same person, but there is still the same sort of, like, the lightheartedness, the absurdity, the whimsy that still kind of comes through a little bit, even though he's, ooky spooky weird guy now.
Ooky spooky weird guy
with his weird 9 eyes. But yeah, it's like, I think that would be really clever. And also, I am employed, but I'm open to job offers. Critical Role, if you need a writer. Because like, if that's not what you did, it was a pretty good idea, right?
That's a great idea. It's literally one of the only Yasha theories.
Scrolled in the Beacon server. Claim
yeah.
It as my theory.
That also, when you mentioned the eyes, sorry, I think I keep creeping really close to my mic. It's okay. My audio is probably all over the place. Which reminds me, there's a track on the score called When Two Become Nine, like spelled as Nein. So I'm like, that could be, if it's used in like a Molly Yasha scene, could be fun. But like, I'm trying not to contemplate the score too much because I will go insane.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I thought that was interesting.
I'm excited about this theory now, and I want to go put it in the fucking Beacon server.
Yeah,
to
go
be
put
like,
it in there.
Guys, I'm cooking.
Hey,
I'm cooking.
Could
be meth.
Cooking.
Could be meth, but I might be
I
cooking.
really feel like
it's either meth or a 5-star meal. There's no in between.
Yeah. Because I really feel like if I would be a little frustrated if it was just like they meet and Molly goes, "Oh, where have you been?" Because it's like we've got to see the backstory of all these important relationships developing with the other characters.
Out of place with how well connected everything else has been. It would feel like a weird way to throw the thread together. So I feel like there's got to be some connection, and I feel that would make sense.
Yeah, and it's like everything else is so well written in the show. Like it really, I'm holding on to that they've got something awesome cooking.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how can you write everything else so incredibly and then get to this one thread and go...
Like, it's been so good so far. It definitely, like, each episode, my confidence is a little bit bolstered because it's been so good.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think we're always going to have that little bit of anxiety fear.
Yeah.
Because we've been let down so many times by
oh my God.
Hollywood.
Literally everything.
Yeah. Disappointing.
But yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm curious to see, like, one thing I thought about for campaign. Oh, do I have a splinter? I do. I was whittling before. I have a splinter.
I feel like we need to have a bloopers reel that's just like us tangenting to like random shit. Thank you for watching this episode. Would love to hear your theories about anything we've talked about. If you want to talk about Yasha, please do, because I always want to be talking about Yasha, so throw it at me. Yeah, that's it from me. That's my final words.
This was good ep. Can't wait for next step. It's going to be interesting because you're in Melbourne for it.
I know, I'm in Melbourne, and we might not be able to watch it on the day, so we'll
see how that
I'm going to be avoiding spoilers like crazy, man.
Yeah, I'll just like uninstall Twitter. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Uninstall Twitter. Uninstall Discord.
Yeah.
Too, probably.
Just turn your phone off.
And honestly, yeah, I might have to do that.
Do one of those like dumb phone settings.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, I do not want to be spoiled. Like, I want to be fresh.
Okay, no more waffle. End of episode.
No more waffling. See you in the Beacon Discord, I guess.
Bye.